Hello, this is Rick Patterson talking to you today about how to remove wallpaper with a steamer. Now, one of the first things you're going to want to do is to remove everything off of the walls, including any fixtures as far as electrical. Please make sure that you turn the power off in the room to these outlets to make sure that you do not touch anything here electrical. Okay, before we get started, what I'm going to show you here is a vinyl tool that I've used for a number of years, and the best way to do this in my books is to use this item right here, which is a 705 Power Steamer. And what it is, it's made by Wagner. Basically what it is a steamer that has a big tray to it, and you hold it up to the wallpaper for about 15 seconds or so, and then you use a scraper of any kind and or a specific kind that you want to use, and I'll show you a little bit more how I do that next. As you can tell here, of course, anytime that you use water and electricity together on an appliance or anything like this, you always want to make sure that the unit is grounded well and that there's no water leak whatsoever. On the water level, you're going to see that the maximum is right here. Do not fill it up any higher than this because it'll have a tendency for water to back up into the hose here and pour out. You don't want to have that done. One item here is that there is an inside coil that's actually a heating element, and when this starts to heat up, you really can't be touching the top of this too much because, again, this goes up to 212 plus degrees in order for the steam to generate. So you have to monitor this. What I like to do is keep this lower than the level that I'm working. So if I'm working below this level here, if I'm not careful, water will back up into the hose and then begin to pour out to the pan, into my steamer pan. So you have to be very, very careful with that too. This is the steamer pan that I'm going to be using, and you have to be very careful because what happens here is that steam comes out of this, out of the tube into this area right here. So it's not recommended that you use the pan by holding the back of this because the cord will get hot too as well. So what you want to do is hold this like so, and as you can tell, here comes the steam. And that's what it sounds like whenever it's pushing the steam out. So the area is going to get wet, and so you need to have some towels around to make sure you catch up any steam or whatsoever water that condensates from this. And now we're ready to begin. There were several tools that you're going to need in doing this job, and the Piranha makes a device called a Wallpaper Scraper. It's got a wheel on the back end here, as you can tell, and what it does is just goes along and scrapes the front end here that you may need to get the paper off once it's lifted. Another tool that you could use is a spatula. Now, again, you have to use this at an angle, and you have to be careful not to gouge the wallpaper from behind. Another helpful tool to have is a box cutter or a straight edge of any kind there. And what this does, it will help you in scoring and lifting any tight corners or cutting paper that you need to cut off. So we're ready to get started, and what I'm going to do here is hold the steam up to the wall for about 15 seconds or so until I can get the paper to lift. Again, the walls are going to get wet because the water does condensate off the walls and we are using steam. So once I get that area, again, you want to be very, very careful working around electricity. And so one thing that I do is just pull this away. And you see how easily that lifted off already. So we're going to continue this in this one area until I can get underneath the wallpaper itself. And I have to be, again, very, very careful not to get into the sheetrock. Has been done right there, so we have to think a little bit more shallow coming off of here. What I like to do is just start one little area. Once I get the wallpaper to lift, then we're good to go. Now another place to start also is really easy, is if you feel along the wall itself, you're going to feel a seam where this comes up. And a seam is a good place to start too, because you can get right in there and as you can tell, lift this up completely off the wall. And once I get something started, that seam will get right up underneath there. And what it does, it just lifts and separates the glue from the wall. Doing here, you can tell, once I steam that area, this will release pretty easily. So I'm going to continue this all the way through. Now that I've steamed this one particular area, I can tell the paper is lifted, and as you can tell, it's much easier to get off once you start the steaming process. Take it kind of gentle, don't be in a hurry. Once you get a lead off, go ahead, because you can pretty much pull off a pretty good size here, and this will speed up the process altogether. Okay, as you can tell, we've already removed all the wallpaper. One note that you want to take care of is as you're pulling the wallpaper off, go ahead and put some plastic down either in a tub in the bathroom or some sort of container so where you're working off the wall, as you pull the paper off, it's wet, it's still got the glue on it. Put it on the floor now, it's going to stick to your carpet, your tile, whatever, and make a really big mess for you to clean up. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and take care of this initially as you pull the paper off. This is Rick Patterson. Thanks for listening. By the way, before you go, I want to encourage you to check out my other videos, and you'll see a link below. Click on it. The 1,000th person that subscribes to TheHandymanToolbox.com gets a free tool. Go ahead and register now. See you there.